It's me, Lulu. Today we're actually finally I finally doing the adding another episode of Collection Deep Dive, which is where I go into my collection and find sets or pairs of a figure series, and we can talk about them. And today I really want to talk about my Magician Girls, and that is Dark Magician Girl, Apple, and Lemon Magician Girl. So if you don't know, these figures is based off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side Dimension anime movie back in 2016. And these characters or these cards are actually official Yu-Gi-Oh! Card sets that coincide with the movie. And these set has Dark Magician Girl, Apple, and Lemon. And there's actually 6 Magician Girls if you are into the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games. And I believe there's Dark Magician, Kiwi, Chocolate, Berry, Lemon, Apple. Who else am I missing? Dark Magician, Kiwi, Berry, Apple, Lemon, Chocolate. So there's six of them. And there's actually other Spellcaster Magician Girl cards out there, so I'm really hoping they kind of make more of those into figures. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about the Dark Magician, Apple, and Lemon Magician Girl from the anime movie. If that makes any sense. So in the box itself, it does they do say it's from the Dark Magician, from the Dark Side Dimension, Dark Side of Dimensions. It's plural. The Dark Side of Dimensions. And I really love this trio. And again, they came out in 2016, and I believe the manufacturer is Kotobukiya, and 3 of them are all 1/7 scale, so they're relatively a great size. I love how they look and how to display them together. So, and that's basically the whole summary lore of the figures, and I want to talk about them. Let's get into it. All 3 of them, their box itself is actually quite similar and I think it's very, very cute. I will show you some pictures of it. I actually store them away already in the attic, so I cannot the life of me go up there and try to find it. It's a mess up there. But just know the figure box itself is very, very cute, has a lot of decals and design based off the Yu-Gi-Oh! And themselves. So it's really, really cool. And I want to say this is actually one of my favorite Dark Magician Girl figures. I personally love the effects and the pose and the sculpt of her in general. And it's probably one of the prettiest figures of Dark Magician. I mean, they're all actually, you know what? Scratch it. They're all pretty cute. But I actually love this one personally, just because of the effects and that you can kind of get her in sort of like a trio set, which is really, really cool. I want to mention the price as well. When these figures came out in, I believe October 2016, they retail about 10,000 yen or around like $100-something. But nowadays, the aftermarket, they're kind of fluctuating. I believe you're going to be paying a little bit more on the aftermarket. And I believe the Lemon and Apple Magician Girl, their price probably fluctuates the most. I've seen figure listing for like 300 bucks, 200 bucks, or like 112. The range is varied, and I want to say that I did get 3 of these figures, all 3 of them pre-owned, and I had no issue since. And I got the right when I started collecting figures about a year or so, and they definitely gone up since. I wanted to get them. I got them relatively cheap. I think I didn't spend too much. Definitely not retail price, but not too much for all 3 of them. And I got 2 of them, I believe, on eBay, and then 1 of them on Amazon JP. So I have here Dark Magician Girl, and as you can see, all 3 of them have this effect base as a platform, and then they're neither in sort of a pose on top or connected to an effect piece that goes into the symbol itself, the symbol base itself. And then that's pretty much the only attachment. Then the staff itself also comes detached, and the hat is also detached. So when you get her in the box, you just need to put her together in the figure, the base figure, the main figure into the base itself, and then you add the wand, and then you add the hat. That's pretty much how you do it, and that's how you display her. And for a figure that came out in 2016, these are relatively still very up to date to the standards of what you could consider a really good figure nowadays. The size is great. The paint job is good. The eye decal is amazing. I think these are relatively quite inexpensive for what you can get nowadays, especially with pre-order prices and figure prices in general going up. These are absolutely gorgeous, and I really recommend these to any collection if you like Yu-Gi-Oh in general, I guess. Yeah. Or you just love really cute magician girls. I think they're great. And I want to say my absolute favorite is going to be Lemon Magician Girl. I'm kind of biased because I do love the fruit lemon in general, and I love that she's kind of tan, and the yellow really pops, and I think she has a great character design. Now, I want to talk about a few more pros and details of what I like about these figures. In general, I absolutely love the paint job. They did a really great job of mixing mattes and gloss per figure. And my favorite is also the metallic they use for the trims. So the Lemon Magician Girl, her gold is a little bit more of like a rosy, like a more warm tone. Then the Apple Magician Girl, she has more of a lighter muted gold. And I think that's really cool for them to sort of like paint them very differently, even though they kind of all came out at the same time. And you can really tell the difference in gloss to matte on each figure. The yellow on Lemon Magician Girl is so gorgeous, so glossy, and it kind of like gives that feel of, you know how like Yu-Gi-Oh characters and designs are relatively simple, not as detailed. There's not a lot of texture, so it's really cool that they added that gloss for these figures, because I think it kind of makes the outfit pop more, just because there's not a lot of detail. And other things I love is the attention to the shading. It's very light, especially because the outfit doesn't have a lot of detail. The shading in the crevices and the shadowing, the highlights and the lowlights, they perfectly blend into each other, so it works so well. They did a very good job on these figures. And I want to talk about the effect pieces. So the Lemon Magician Girl has the star effect pieces, and then Magician Girl, Dark Magician Girl, she has those really cute heart shape effect pieces. I love those heart shapes. They're so cute and plump. Such a great effect piece for Magician Girl. And then Apple herself has apples on wings, and they're really, really cute. I highly recommend them. Speaking of Apple Magician Girl, I love what they did to her. She actually doesn't hold a staff, but it really doesn't pull away from the figure itself. She has a lot of details going on. Her wings itself, at the tips of the wings, they're actually transparent, so you can see that they painted in the colors and the opaqueness of the wings after, and the wings itself is actually transparent, and that's all throughout the figure. So her wings on her body itself, the wings on her arms, and even the apple wings itself. So cute. And again, her paint job, so pretty. And the art decal, if you can see it in the Apple Magician Girl, you can see that in her eye decal, there's little apples. They're so cute. Like, I love that attention to detail. And again, I would like to say that Magician Girl, classic staple. I love the hearts and the colors they chose for the figure itself. I think they, Kotobukiya did such a great job picking out the colors for these girls. And I love the effect pieces. Also that it's transparent and there's actually glitter in it. It's like they, if you look really closely to where the intersection of the joints of the base to the effect pieces, it's super glittery. I love that. That's so cool. That's not a lot of figures that have that kind of has that little detail, and I think it just goes perfectly with the Magician Girls. So yeah, like overall I really enjoyed just how the overall product looked, and with all three of them together, I think you can't go wrong. Now let's go into the cons that I find on, and I want to say it's not for all figures, but particularly mine. Dark Magician Girl in general, her seam on her head is quite big, and I think yeah, they could have done a little bit better on that. But honestly, you don't see it after you put on the hat, so I guess that's one gripe that, you know, you can't really see. So it's not as it's very minor. And again, these figures are older, so there's bound to be sort of some wear and tear on them. So, and I did notice that her Dark Magician Girl staff, her the paint is sort of cracking in some ways. It's very light and it's not noticeable at all, but if you really looked at it, unfortunately you will see those crack lines. And the effect pieces itself, I find that it's a little bit fragile. I know we love to sort of like squish the joints together to make sure they stick. For this one, I feel like the time when I put the base and the effect pieces together, I did hear a small crack. So I'm a bit scared on that. And I haven't tried to pry her out of the base yet, so I'm hoping that nothing went wrong. But yeah, the base and the effect piece is a little bit fragile down there, so I would be very careful when you assemble her together. And another thing, the paint transfer is very real in these figures. You want to be careful, and I think it's kind of you can't stop it from happening. So just be wary. There will be some paint transfer, just because the main areas that I noticed the paint transfer is definitely the hat area, and you can see it really closely here on my Lemon Magician Girl. The gold coating did come off and is on her hair, but really it's not a big deal to me. just because it is an old figure, and I'm pretty sure there's some paint transferred from the staff from her hands too. So things to look out. A little paint transfer there. And my other issue is my Apple Magician Girl. Her she has a joint from the Apple stand to herself right on her butt, and she fits in there but not tight and snug, so you could easily like pry her open so she could come off if you're not careful the way you hold her. So that's my gripe about it. And then also I feel like the Apple could have been painted a little bit better. I think maybe they were trying to make it distinctive between her and the Apple, so that's why the Apple's a little bit lighter and not as colorful and painted as her. But oh, and the visible joint, you can really tell where her the joint is on her, and unfortunately I can't seem to close the gap. So that's another thing I've noticed. As a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, I actually enjoy these in my collection. So, and other figures, I also want to mention other figures that are coming out that are Yu-Gi-Oh girls in general. And I believe FNEX or Furyu is making a 1/7 scale Gaga girl. And she's sort of like in the line of like spellcasters as well. And there's one that actually will be getting will be the Apprentice Illusion Magician. I love her design, and it's made by eStream, and I would love to pick this one up because I know eStream paint job is pretty good. So I'm hesitant on the Gaga girl because she is kind of very expensive for what she is. Unfortunately, like I said, these characters' design are a little bit simple, so I'm only willing to pay for so much, but I think the aftermarket for her is definitely going to go down. A lot of figures are tanking, so I'm hoping to get her relatively cheaper on the aftermarket when she comes out. Anyways, that's pretty much the deep dive on the Magician Girl figures. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. And if you like Magician Girls, I'm really hoping you guys pick up these figures. Anyways, I'll see you later. Bye! Oh, and enjoy the B-roll, because I got a new camera to test out, so I'm hoping the quality goes up. Anyways, bye!